Alright, check it out. In this video I'll be teaching you how to vectorize an image from a drawing. This here is a drawing from Eater. He sent it over for me to vector, so I figured I'd make a video about how to do it yourself and just some quick tips that'll help you make yours as good as it can be. So here is just a basic Sharpie drawing, and we'll get right into it. So I just took a photo of the design. You don't have to scan it in any special way. I just took an easy photo, and we're going to start here. I'm using Corel Paint Shop Pro X3. You can use any version of Photoshop and kind of follow the rules. They're all pretty straightforward, as I'm not using any special tools that any other program wouldn't have, as well as GIMP is a free Photoshop version kind of thing, another file type that you can check out if you're so interested. So here we have just a simple image. I added a vector layer over on the right hand side. You can see all my layers, and I selected the pen tool. This is going to be the main tool we're using, and next up I've got the just draw point to point and curve section selected, so I can make curves all the way around it. Now just going to test out my line thickness here, and to see how it works, I'm going to be drawing with a transparent inside, so I'm not filling it up with anything, and I can have a much thicker line. So we're just going to bump that up to about 20 and use whatever you want. I always like to draw a little bit thinner, just so I can keep my eyes on the design underneath, and then you can go back in and edit it. So I've just got the curve tool, and you're going to want to make your first point. I work from left to right. You can do whichever you please, and make your first point, and then pick another point a little ways away, not too close, not too far, and then you're just going to click and then drag your kind of two arrow line to get the curve to match that of the drawing. Now if you go too far away, I'll show you what will happen, in that you can't really get it to line up as good, especially when you come to curves. If I just try and jump all the way over to this line, I'm never going to really be able to, one, see it, but two, get it all where I want it. So just going slow, making sure that your line isn't going to make a big jump. So seeing that I made this huge jump, it created this real long kind of anchor point, I'm pretty sure is what they're called, and it just doesn't work. It might work for that point, but then the following point has a hard time fitting in to where you want it to go. And I'm just going to work around this, and as soon as I'm finished with that, I'll do some color tutorials. As you can see, there are kind of rounded tips to each of these extra kind of shading areas, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make an extra new brush style, because currently this line style is a straightforward, I have the wrong one selected, so we're going to go for this straightforward solid one. So you can see how it has flat edges, whereas the one I had accidentally done has the rounded edges I'm looking for. So there's a variety of ways you can do it. As you can see here, you can go through and make an ellipse that's very skinny, and then convert that into a brush style if you're in Photoshop or Illustrator. There's a lot of different ways to do that for each program. For myself, it doesn't work that way with Corel Paint Shop Pro. So what I would have to do is come into Custom, create a sizing. For this instance, we just have the same thickness of the line, which in the default is 1, and then select the ball on either side, make sure that one is 1, hit save, and choose which line style you want. So currently I have it selected as rounded end, so it's easy for me. We're still in the ellipse tool, but now that we're back in the pen tool, you can get an idea that it's got the rounded ends, in which is desired for these kind of hashtags over in the armpit area. It's pretty straightforward if you're in another program. Just look up like pen style, as I can't explain those without the programs in front of me, but it's really straightforward. I'm going to end up using this for most of the design, as the pen that was drawn with kind of has the rounded end, as you can see, and that gives a nice finish to it. And if you're looking for another type of brush with like a jagged end, like a calligraphy tip, sometimes they're already in this kind of preset column, but you can just make it with a vector layer, and then it'll work out the same. Alright, so now that I have the total vector complete, we're just going to go back and touch up some specific spots that may have a little warped line or something. So here's the original. So here's the original. That was the vector, but here's the original drawing, and now here is the vector, and I think it came out pretty good. The one thing I do see is that this ear is kind of wonky in that it's not really even at all. So I'm just going to select my pen tool and then go up to the edit mode. It's going to be a little highlight selection. Sometimes you can do this under the just pick tool, but as you can see, this point right here and then its adjacent one is not as kind of uniform as I would like it. So I'm just going to click on it and then stretch it out, kind of reposition it to better fit just a nice rounded ear look, without getting kind of the buckle in there. And then I'll put my original design back on, and then I'll just zoom out and see how it looks. It could use a little bit more, so just really play around with it to the way you want. And I'll also go into teaching how to actually add additional nodes. So what you're going to want to do is select the knife tool, and you can cut it. So now I actually have created a separate node here in which I can break apart if I want, or I can even just now have another toggle is to where the kind of bend is going to be. So that gives you an extra point to kind of play with if you think a corner needs another section to it. So I think that did the trick for the ear. Now let's just unselect it so you can get a real good view. And I'm going to play around with that till it's perfect, but as you can see, you can get an idea for that. And really, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below about how to do some more. I'll have another tutorial on adding color to a vector image, as this is just a simple black and white tutorial. But you can take the skills you learned here and apply them to color, as it's pretty straightforward. That's going to do it for me. Comment, rate, subscribe. Peace.